What's up, people? Tonight we're going to do a reaction video on this documentary I saw a couple weeks ago. It's called The Son of Preacher, the black hand that ruled Harlem. Now, if you don't know Preacher, I did some content on him a couple weeks ago, but Preacher was a drug dealer, and he used to extort people. That was the thing. He was known for extorting people, extorting drug dealers in the 80s and 90s. So, if you missed that video, you can always go back to my old videos and give it a watch. But for my people that's here, we're going to get this ball rolling. Don't forget to get the likes up. If you're new, subscribe. Hit me up in the comments and let's get it.
We had a motherfucker over there, 125th Street, right? Fifth Avenue. Got a fish and chip joint. I think his name Joe or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Got the fish and chip joint, right? My father, slick motherfucker, he take a Louis Vuitton bag, right? Cut up newspaper, stack it, right? He put like about, I think it was like 20 stacks, right? On the top and the bottom is only $100 bill, but in the middle ain't nothing but paper. Got this stacked like bundles, put it in the bag, right? Got the broad, right? One of my co-defendants, right? She's in there, right? The game plan is two dudes that was down with us, you know what I'm saying? Run up in there, stick the joint up, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. They gonna stick it up, right? This is an extortion move that he doing. Stick up kids is up in there. They see the money, right, in the bag, you know what I'm saying? They stick the whole joint up. They don't stick the store up, they stick her up, but in the establishment. This nigga owe money now, right? That's the whole thing. How he owe money? That's what everybody want to know. How he owe money? Because she got robbed in your establishment with my money. You know what I'm saying? And the deal was that she came down there to do a deal with this nigga. So you set us up.
Now, that plan would have probably worked on a dumb person with no brain. That plan probably would have sounded slick to someone with no brain. But someone with a brain would have thought to themselves, okay, guys coming with guns and not stick up the joint, but they stick up that one particular person, which mean that one person could have been followed or it's an inside job. Don't hold me responsible because someone else got the drop on you. And then you're telling me it's $20,000 in a bag. You could have told me any number. You could have said it was 50,000, 100,000. So, yeah, that plan wouldn't have worked on the average person. I'm sorry.
People in the streets would talk to my father and tell him shit about people. You know what I'm saying? And he always knew where motherfucker was at. You know what I'm saying? So all we had to do was from there, we follow him. You know what I'm saying? A few days, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We get, intel on him. You know what I mean? Get the pictures. We do the same thing like the feds would do. You know what I'm saying? We switch up 2 or 3 cars, sometimes 4 or 5 cars.
Masks, tape.
You know what I'm saying? We follow. We know basically his route. You know what I'm saying? And what happened is our main objective is to find out where he thinks nobody knows he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like far as, okay, this is his down low chick, or that's his mama house. You know what I'm saying? He moved us somewhere, or this is his house where he moved in Jersey or whatever. You know?
See, the average dope boy nowadays, they like to tag all their locations. They like to be on TikTok, hop on Instagram Live. They'll be on Facebook Live in the club. See, he actually backed what I just said. Imagine Preacher in 2022. See, back in the day, you actually had to get a drop on someone. You actually had to watch them. It's very impressive. You had to have discipline. It takes a lot of patience. You had to think to yourself back in the day, do I want the stick-up kids to come get me or the feds? At the end of the day, someone's coming for you.
Rich Porter's uncle was the one who brought that to my father about kidnapping the little boy to get more money from Rich. Rich was already giving my father some type of money, you know what I'm saying? But he told my pops that he could get more from Rich because Rich got millions. So, something like that. So it was Apple who brought it to my pops. And the funny thing is, I don't understand why he did that because that's his blood. You know what I'm saying? My pops is just somebody he down with, you know what I mean? But that goes to shows how f***ed up we was. Malik told me that Apple was the one who brought that situation to my pops, right? And told him that it was easy for him to get the nephew because the nephew goes to school, you know what I'm saying, in the morning, such and such time, and pick him up. So my pops said, all right, go ahead. He agreed to it, you know what I'm saying? So when they snatched the kid up, you know what I mean, they brought him to this basement that we used to use, you know what I'm saying, for gun shoot practice and all that shit. We had this basement, we had this whole building, you know what I'm saying? And they brought him over there, you know what I mean? And Apple told my father that he can get probably 500,000 from Rich. That was the thing there, you know what I'm saying? And they called Rich house or whatever and told him that they got the brother or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And this is what they want. Rich, I believe Rich said that all he could have was like half of that. Like he'd get them 250,000. My father was willing to take that, right? But Apple and Malik himself was like, nah, we can still get more. We can still get more from him.
You heard that, right? He said Rich Porter was giving his father some type of money. Now, listening to how he worded that, he didn't really sound sure. He wasn't so sure of how much money he was getting. He said some type of money. He wasn't very confident. I don't believe it at all. I mean, it's possible, but the guys around Rich Porter, I don't think they would have really let that happen. And if that was the case, why would you kidnap the little brother? See, Apples, he give me fiend vibes. He give me junkie vibes. He's a nobody. He's a lowlife. So I couldn't put nothing past him. But as far as Preacher was extorting Rich Porter already. Why would he keep the kid after Richard Porter agreed to pay him $250K? It just doesn't make sense.
It was like a coincident thing. When my pops and kidnapped the kid, right? Alpo and Rich had some disagreement or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't actually know what happened with them, but it was like some disagreement. So it just happened like, it was just like, I guess it was fake basically, you know what I'm saying? Alpo ended up killing Rich Porter and all that, you know what I'm saying? Before the brother got killed. So by the time that happened, it was definitely no money. You know what I'm saying? My pops knew that there wasn't no money. And I believe that was one of the reasons why he said, let the kid go. Apple told my father, nah, and nah, because he seen our face and everything. You know what I'm saying? And he was scared about this and that. And my father didn't agree on them killing the dude. You know what I'm saying? The little kid. That's why to this day, my father, you know what I'm saying, got so much time. You know what I mean? Got that life plus like 225 years. You know what I'm saying? Because he told the federal government, but he said that he didn't agree to that, which he really didn't. You know what I'm saying? That was Malik and Apple's doing. My father was like, nah, let him go. And my father ended up leaving the basement, and them dudes ended up killing Shorty. That's what happened. And killed the little boy in there. You know what I mean? But my pops didn't agree to that. My pops, he was all the names that anybody want to call him. You know what I'm saying? Vicious, a monster, and all that. But he wasn't with all that about killing no kid. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't kill the kid. You know what I mean? He didn't agree on that. You know what I'm saying? And when he did it, it was a surprise to him. And he was really pissed off.
See, watching this, it just shows me that Mr. Shaka was trying to cover up for his dad, saying his father didn't agree on killing the little boy. I mean, it went as far as cutting the little boy's finger off. Your dad didn't stop that. Your dad didn't stop the kidnapper from the jump. So what makes the viewer believe that your dad didn't agree with this? Because at the end of the day, it's the Preacher crew. It is not the Apple crew. It is not the Malik crew. Plus, Malik praised Preacher. Malik would do anything Preacher says. At the end of the day, it's the Preacher crew. So Preacher has the last word, has the final word. He was calling the shots. So you saying that Preacher didn't agree with killing the little boy is kind of hard to believe. And plus, if you didn't listen to the boss, there would have been serious consequences. So, yes, it's kind of hard to believe that the shot caller didn't agree with the action that happened.
How did your father see Malik or even Apple? Or like, how did that play out? As far as I know, my pops called Apple a piece of shit. He called him that with the fact of him bringing the idea of kidnapping his own nephew. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he a worthless piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like that, he already was pissed off with him about that situation.
If I call someone a piece of crap, and then 5 minutes later I'm participating, what that makes me? See, everyone in the Preacher crew point fingers. You have Shaka pointing his finger at Malik, and then you have Preacher pointing his finger at Apples. See, this is what happens when you have multiple co-defendants. When you all get booked in a courtroom, everyone points the finger. Everyone's looking for a way out. But who's the charge? Who's the charge of responsibility to? They're going to charge it to the shot caller because he calls the shot. And before anything, they would have to get an
Then with
okay.
Malik, he said Malik is what he said? He said Malik is out of hand. You know what I'm saying? He already realized he was out of hand. He was too much. You know what I'm saying? This dude Malik was really fucked up mentally. You know what I'm saying?
In March 1994, Preacher called for a vote on Malik, the janitor.
See, here's where the envy comes in. Here's where the jealousy comes in. See, Shaka was jealous of the relationship between Malik and Preacher. See, Preacher would tell Malik things that he wouldn't even tell other people in the crew. And they bond was so strong that Malik would do anything that Preacher would tell him. Now, Shaka saw that. Shaka thought he would get the benefits of being Preacher's son, but Preacher didn't roll like that. That's not how he ran the crew. He was trying to treat everyone equal, but it was just something about Malik, and Shaka saw that. So, you know, in every crew, there's always those two people that bump heads. Now, that was Malik, and that was Shaka. They didn't like each other. And one thing about Preacher will pick Malik over his own son. So that's just how them guys roll. And, you know, one thing about this documentary, every chance Shaka get to talk down on Malik, he would take that. So when you guys watch it, you will notice he was happy when they called the hit on Malik.
All the rest of us is still out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still out, right? He ended up calling. I was with this broad. He ended up calling our house like around about 6 or 7 in the morning, right? I happened to be there, right? I already know he's locked up, right? He tells me over the phone, yo, just turn yourself in. I didn't tell him what you did in the park. I didn't say anything about what you did in the park. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, and hung up, right? He called right back. I told the girl to answer the phone, but I didn't know it was him calling right back, though. I just told her to answer the phone. This is her house. So she answered the phone. She's like, how you doing? And the way she was talking, I said, yo, if that's my father, tell him I'm not here. So right then there, I knew he was telling. I just assumed he was telling, put it like that. And I assumed he was telling, but I didn't accept it. I didn't believe that.
A stone cold killer himself, who became an informant.
See, just because a guy's a rat, that don't mean he's sweet. The average guy will be on the internet could say rat this, rat that, but wouldn't say it to none of these guys' face. Now, we all like to act surprised when the toughest guy, the hitman, becomes the informant. When you look at Alpo, he was a dangerous man. He ended up telling. You got Greg Scarpa. He was the Grim Reaper. He ended up telling. And now you got Preacher, the Black Hand of Death. He's snitching on his own kid. These guys live by their own rules. And you see that with The Wire. When Omar testified, that shows you right there. After he testified, no one called him a rat. They still respected him as a killer. Because at the end of the day, yeah, he ratted, but he's still dangerous.
The biggest betrayal that you felt that day in the bullpen? The biggest betrayal was my father realizing that he actually really told on us. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about nobody else. My thing was me and my sister. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't understand that, and to this day I still can't. You know what I mean? And fucks me up behind that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it was your father. You know what I'm saying? Not your brother, homeboy, none of that, but your pops. You know what I mean? Somebody that you love dearly, man. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up telling on you. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because all of us that was in the bullpen, me, Cub, Pop, Green Eyes, you know what I'm saying? My sister, Janine, you know what I mean? We was so brainwashed into following him to hell, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't even have to do that, you know what I'm saying? He could have probably got to the point where he could have just made one of us take everything. We'd all did that, you know what I'm saying? He had us to the point where we'd have died for him, you know what I mean? Where we didn't kill for him, you know what I'm saying? We definitely would have died for him, you know what I'm saying? And we would have did that, but he didn't do that. He told, you know what I'm saying? But he told on not just the other dudes, but he told on his kids, you know what I mean? And to this day, I really don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? I really can't swallow this. You know what I mean? And it hurts me, but I don't hate him.
Now, you didn't understand how could he tell on you and your sister. But did you understand when he was getting hundreds of thousands from drug dealers and had you guys out there killing? Did you understand that? Did you understand how you could have been going to private school, living in the suburbs, living a good life off the money he was making, but he had you in the trenches killing? Did you understand that? A lot of guys like to act surprised when people show their true colors. And the crazy thing is, he was showing you this whole time. He had no morals, especially what he did with the little boy. But you don't understand that. You wasn't seeing the signs through life. That's your fault.
Think about shit, you know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, it wasn't right. You know what I mean? Because this is not the character that I am. I'm capable of those things. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I am. You know what I mean? But is that me? Do I live to be this person? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I'm an easy, laid back dude. You know what I mean?
So you say that's not the character you are. So you're saying you're laid back, you're chill. But one thing about me, I can't believe what you say. I believe what you do. And that makes a big difference.
It's already vanished. You know what I'm saying? Even before I flipped, niggas started vanishing. You know what I'm saying? From bitches and, you know what I mean? The same motherfuckers who was always had their hand out, laughing in your face and all that. Yeah, you might get shot. You know what I'm saying? Or I love you to death and all this other shit. They roll out. The streets don't give a fuck about us. You know what I'm saying? The streets what? We ain't nothing but memories. Me, all them other niggas who talk that real shit, you ain't nothing but a memory. And I don't give a fuck what type of memory you are, you just a memory. You know what I'm saying? And as time go on, your girl leave. You know what I'm saying? Your mother leave. Your sister, brothers leave. You know what I mean? Less letters, less visits, less phone calls. So that sitting there with 40, 50 years life and all that had the opportunity to tell, was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? And they sit up there, they talk about us being, you know, rats or whatever, you know what I'm saying, this and that and all that. But the funny shit, we still who we are. And 9 or 10 times, 99% of us that's in here that told all that would smash any one of these. That's what's funny.
See, when most guys level up, they never sit and think, where were these people before I leveled up? Where were these people at when I was broke? See, these type of guys turn their backs on the real friends, the real people that care about them, for the people that don't care about you, for the people that's going to drink up all your liquor, be in your sections, but not show up to one court date. Look at Casanova. He's telling us that no one's riding for them. These people will not show up at your funeral. They're only around because they're benefiting off of you. They're benefiting off of the sections, the bottles, the females you're paying for. But when you're behind bars, they don't benefit off of you. So that just tells you right there that before you think you the man, this, that, and the third, you got to ask yourself, hey, where was I before the money?
That's what's funny.
Why didn't nobody step to your father or call him out in that bullpen when everybody knew he was telling?
Well, first and foremost, no matter because he was telling all that, he's still preaching. You know what I'm saying? That same preacher from the streets. You know what I mean? And even myself, as well as his son, I wouldn't step to him like that. You know what I'm saying? I felt fucked up and all that, but I would never raise my hand to my pops. Not because I know he fucked me up, ain't no question about that. You know what I'm saying? But because I respect him that way. You know, but as far as everybody else, my opinion, they ain't built like that. See, that's what's funny. A lot of people need other people to help boost them up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he done for a lot of them. Cuff as well. You know what I'm saying? Cuff talk all that shit in the magazine, all that over bullshit. But Cuff knew when we was in the bullpen. Cuff already knew he was telling before I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Cuff the one who told me that he was trying to do something. But then he talk all that other shit, you know, the bullpen and all this and that. And the funny thing is, he ain't the only one talking. A lot of other motherfuckers talk about this person snitching. Pole, Fat Cat, you know what I'm saying, Ray Fins. A lot of other dudes, they talk about snitching, but nobody say nothing about my father. Nobody don't mention preacher name about telling, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably the first motherfucker that said something, you know what I mean, about the situation with my father. None of my co-defendants said none of that except Jack, you know what I'm saying, in the magazine and all that. But when we was in the bullpen, he said otherwise.
You could walk.
There's not too many people I know that will lock it in a jail cell with a 6'5" psychopath. I heard stories about Preacher approaching guys with a knife, and he will hand you a knife for you guys to brawl. Last man standing. That's just the type of time he was on, fighting for his name, even though he ratted. But at the end of the day, he's still a killer. And the funny thing about Shaka, he's riding for his dad. His dad could do no wrong. He don't think anyone could be his dad. He think his dad is just the biggest gangster ever. But man, you can't knock him, man. That was his dad, man. He looked up to his father.
What did you do different?
In order to ask that question, I would have to take time to go back to maybe when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And to answer your question to what I would do different is I would have lived for me. I didn't live for me. I lived for my father. You know what I'm saying? I'm beginning to live for me now. You know, I never lived for me. I lived for him. You know what I'm saying? Because if I lived for me and the way that I know who I am now, I wouldn't have committed no murders. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't have did none of that. I would have probably never been in a drug gang. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have never robbed nobody. You know what I'm saying? If I'd have lived for me. You know what I mean? But I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I lived for him. And it's sometimes the funny thing is in life, you end up loving somebody more than you love yourself. I love my father more than I love my own self. And I think that all my co-defendants was the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because if we wasn't, how the fuck we followed this man to killing people? And to this day, we probably went to hell with him. You know what I'm saying? Or to the lecture chair with him if he would have said, let's go. We all going to bat. Nobody say nothing. I truly believe that each and every one of us would have sat there and fought this shit out with them, knowing that we all going to get life, or we all going to get the lecture chair. Each and every one of us would have sat there and fought this shit out with him. You know what I'm saying? The way he would have went, that's the way we would have went. 99% of us would have did that. You know? So my difference would have been I needed a different father. That's what I needed. I needed a different life. That's what I needed. You know what I'm saying? I needed, even if it ain't a different father, I needed somebody to raise me better.
I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. If you guys like these reaction videos, man, let me know in the comments, and we're going to keep doing these things, man. But as far as Shaka, as far as the interviewer, I don't know who was worse because I didn't learn anything. I don't know if the interviewer was scared to ask some questions, but if I'm an interviewer, my main goal is to try to get an exclusive. I'm going to try to get something out of these guys that we never heard before. Shaka basically just talked about everything we already knew. See, the interviewer should have talked about, hey, how was life like living under the roof as Preacher? How was Preacher relationship with his wife? What was going on? See, we hearing the same stories that we heard from these movies, for these other documentaries. And, you know, I started to second guess, like, hey, is this guy really his son? Because it seems like he can't even tell us much about Preacher. But, man, that's it for today, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into this video, man. Hit the like button, man. Get these likes up. Comment. Let me know if y'all fuck with me or not. You know, subscribe. And we gonna keep this ball rolling, man. Peace. I'm out.